Fiesta Rich Life on 92.7 KUFM down here in Benin City. I'm the sports Berlusconi Sanofi Francis. The Ibracadabra Sports Ali Ibrahim is in the building as well. And together we're going to make your next 55 minutes from now worthwhile as far as sport is concerned. Remember, you get to call in on the show this evening because the evening show is made for you fans. So get those vouchers into your SIM cards, and once we open the phone lines, you can start talking to us, and we'll be glad also to hear from you. Brian, good evening. Let's start with the package. Let's call it palliative now. That the Premier League clubs have decided to give out to the EFL and the League One and League Two. Yeah. It's a total of £300 million.
250 million pounds for the EFL clubs because of the coronavirus situation, and then they will give 50 million to League One and League Two clubs. Rick Perry, who is the EFL chairman, said that it was a welcome development, and it's great that they have this. I wish we had a situation like that in Nigeria, where the Nigerian Professional Football League can, or the LMC now, which runs the NPFL, can say, okay, NNL, we hear that you're having some financial constraints, so we are going to give you this money as loan, interest free. You pay back at a certain period. It will be great, but we know that the NPFL right now it's not like that, and basically we have to rely on palliatives from the Confederation of African Football for the World Football Governing Body, FIFA. But this is what you get when you are very well organized, and the entire structure is transparent. You get things like this. So that's some of the things that they are doing. They are going to lend the championship clubs an interest-free loan of £200 million. Then the loans are going to be capped at £8.33 million per club, and it must be repaid by June 2024. That's a long time, so the club have got time to work that out, especially when fans start returning. Already we know that fans have returned to England. They returned yesterday, but with time, it's just a few fans that are allowed into the stadium now. With time, they are going to expand it, and then these clubs can start making money. So they're giving 50 million to League One and League Two clubs, which is going to split into two parts. 30 million will be paid to the 48 clubs as a grant based on missed gates receipts from the 2019-2020 and 2020-2021 season. So League One clubs, they will receive a minimum payment of £375,000. League Two clubs will receive a minimum payment of £250,000. Minimum means it could be more. That's the list that they will get. Then the remaining 50 million will be distributed using a lost gate revenue share classification. And then they say a further 20 million monitored grant will be provided, and clubs can apply based on the need. This is fantastic, and this is what you expect a well-run association to be like. But of course we know that the English Premier League is the elite, or English football generally is the elite. The championship excuse me, championship, which is the second tier in England, is, in terms of ranking, is in the top 10 when you are ranking the top 10 leagues in Europe, and by application that means the top 10 leagues in the world. So it's no surprise that the EPL has this much money and they are able to give back. Even the United Kingdom governments, they know how important the English Premier League is in terms of revenue generation and what they can do to help the economy. If you take away the English Football League, English Football League generally, but especially the English professional, the English Premier League, if you take it away, believe me, the United Kingdom government will know that a huge source of revenue has gone, and they want to do the best they can to portray it in good light, and they want the best players in the world to come there, and it's a property that they are protecting very well. We can replicate same in Africa and make the Nigerian Professional Football League the envy of the continent, so that players from all parts of Africa can be coming here to play. If we had worked at it, you know, the way we started way back in the 70s and 80s, by now we'll have been able to advance to that level that Nigeria will be like the England of Europe, just as you have players from all over the world, all over Europe coming to England to play. There are other countries that they still go to, but you can see that England is the #1 right now in terms of the power of attraction to pull the biggest players in the world. You've got to say it is England. So we could have been doing the same thing in Africa, but right now we are nowhere near the top 5. Honestly, if you really consider how well they are running clubs in other parts of Africa. So I believe that there's always a lesson. It is the most watched league in Nigeria. We know that it is the most watched league in the world, but we know for certain that in Nigeria the APL is the most followed. So even our football administrators follow it, our government officials follow it. We even have state governors who have openly declared their support for certain clubs. They even wear the jersey of such clubs to some functions, and I've always had issues with that. I've criticized some governors who did that. They usually say, no, now you can't say somebody should not have his passion. Yeah, I understand. You have your passion, but your state owns a football club. So you should not be seen wearing an Arsenal jersey if you have a football club. You have a state-owned football club. Why don't you wear the football club jersey? The only way you can, find a way around it is maybe you affiliate your club, your state-owned football club to that's a particular club that you are supporting. For instance, Bloemfontein Celtic in South Africa, or Ajax Cape Town. Those kind of stuff. So if, let's say for instance, as we said, Bendel Insurance is the Arsenal of the Edo Arsenal or whatever they choose to call it, and then you now formally start the process that Arsenal recognizes Bendel Insurance as a club that is affiliated to them. That way, even if the governor wears the jersey of Arsenal and anybody wants to criticize, you could argue that, oh, but come on, they have a partnership with Arsenal. And in that, when it is like that, even Bendel Insurance jersey will be similar to what Arsenal are wearing. So, but we have a situation where we've got even politicians wanting to have stakes in some of these clubs in Europe that are already super rich, and you are forgetting your own clubs at home. So I think since we all know how successful that model has been, we can copy it and replicate it here.
Okay, let's hope so that in the nearest future we will get there and we enjoy things like this. Okay, still talking about the EPL, the top. Tomorrow, obviously, we'll be taking a look at the fixtures for the weekend. Unfortunately, they gave it to Newcastle United, and Aston Villa will not go on tomorrow because of the breakout of coronavirus. But thank God that the government there, they've okayed the vaccine. So the players, all of them, everybody will be vaccinated. Trust me. Okay, but let's talk about Jose. He has said that his record, he gets to play tonight, but he was talking ahead of their game tonight, and then, of course, you spoke about the EPL game on Sunday, that his record against Arsenal means nothing. He's yet to really surrender points to Arsenal in terms of the teams he has taken, like Man United, now Tottenham, of course, Chelsea, we know. And he said today they said that this game this weekend obviously does not mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
In terms of, the record does not mean anything that they are going out there.
The record doesn't mean anything because the truth is he's right now with Tottenham Hotspur. And this is a new season. Even if last season you got points against them, it doesn't really mean anything. Every match is different, supposedly. But you see, I don't know, but something with football, you tend to, why do you even have these records in the first place? Because something just tends to happen over and over and over again, and you are wondering. It's not like he has not lost to Arsenal, he has. But when you check his record, he has won against them more times than he has drawn or lost. So he seems to always have, he seems to know how to play against Arsenal. I recall when Arsene Wenger was there and they had a couple of back and forth. He always, all the time, he seems to know how to beat Arsene Wenger, and that really got under the skin of Arsene Wenger. They've had to exchange hard words, and even after Arsene Wenger left, he has been pretty successful against the Gunners. So whenever Mourinho is playing against them, you feel, okay, things are going to go his way. But I think it is his usual mind games. You know, he knows that he has a very good opportunity of beating them. Right now, Arsenal are not in a very good place. You can see with what is
going on,
happening to them, where they are in the EPL, and I don't know, in the Europa League. I think they are doing pretty well. But when you look at some of the teams that are likely to drop from the Champions League, you've got to wonder, can Arsenal go on to win the Europa League? Because I think the next best thing would be, okay, go and win the Europa League, qualify automatically for the Champions League, because with what is happening now, I'm not sure they will make the Champions League with the way they are playing. Looking at both teams, Tottenham Hotspur are top of the league. They are the form team of the two going into this weekend's match. Both of them have got games today in the Europa League. But the main one will be, both of them will have an eye on, I think they are both through to the next round, so they will both be looking mainly at the Premier League match. Arsenal cannot afford any further slip-ups, and Jose Mourinho will know that if he wants to remain top, he's going to keep winning, because right now he's on the same number of points
with
as
Liverpool.
Yeah, you know, so
Chelsea just behind them.
Chelsea just 2 points behind them. So he knows that it is not a very comfortable lead, and he also will want to get that point. He will do whatever he has to. If he has to park the bus the way he did against Chelsea, he will do what he can to get all 3 points. And Mikel Arteta knows, he's already even talking about he's prepared for Saka and everything. So he knows that he can afford, especially to Tottenham Hotspur. These are two sides that are bitter rivals. Arsenal, they have a day they celebrate when it becomes mathematically impossible for Tottenham Hotspur to overtake them. They've not celebrated that in a couple of seasons, so they will want to do that this season. But looking at where they are, 14th, and then looking at Tottenham Hotspur top of the table, is going to rankle Arsenal fans, so they would want to go for this victory. There will be a lot at stake, and usually when it comes to a derby, especially a derby with as much history as Tottenham versus Arsenal, then form does not really count. You'll be surprised that Arsenal will play like the champions of Europe when they play against Tottenham Hotspur, even if they have been playing poorly. And the same thing with Tottenham, it could be that the day they play Arsenal, that's when they really get it. Maybe the last few years, you will say Tottenham have closed the gap, but when you look at the history, Arsenal have absolutely dominated that North London derby, so they will feel confident going into this game.
Okay, before we leave the EPL and go to La Liga and talk about what's also happening there, what has gone wrong between Odion Ighalo, who came to Manchester United and was firing from all cylinder, to the Odion Ighalo that most times doesn't make the bench these days? It was on the bench yesterday, but unused substitute.
I think it's because it's clear that he'll be leaving
in January.
You know, they were thought that he could be leaving at the end of last season, but they decided to extend his contract because of the way he has played. You know, I think the fact that he's not scored in the Premier League, he's come close a couple of times. But look, I've watched Odion Ighalo. The few times that he got, it's not like he has a shocker of a game every time. No, it's never been like that. He tries, even if he doesn't score, he comes close to scoring. It's either he takes a shot, he's blocked, or something. He doesn't. I've not seen him waste sitters. You know, so it's not like he's not playing well, and that's why he's been banned. But I think the competition for places, it's there. And now that they bought Edinson Cavani, look, I'm a Nigerian. I bleed green, but we've got to say the truth. Edinson Cavani is a more accomplished striker than Odion Ighalo, both at national level and also at the club level. The clubs he's played for, where he's been, the things he's been able to do. But Edinson Cavani is somebody, I think Odion Ighalo might be more clinical. I've seen Edison Cavani miss shockers. The one that type that you saw Yakuba Egbeni miss against South Korea. I've seen Edison Cavani miss that on multiple occasions. You can go to YouTube and just
true, you're very right. Especially at
Edison Cavani's misses. He miss even at PSG. He misses a whole lot of chances, but the thing is, he also scores. He scores so many goals. So because of that, you will not be thinking about the bloopers. You will be looking at his stats and say, okay, he's played this number of matches. This is the number of goals that he has scored. Odion Ighalo might be more clinical. Maybe if he has 3 chances, he tends to bury 2. And Cavani will need 5 chances to bury 1. But because he plays more often, you get to see that, oh, this guy scores so many goals. See the match they played against Southampton. He had just 3 chances and scored 2 chances and he scored the 2 and even created an assist. Also had an assist for the goal that Bruno Fernandes scored. So I think that the fact, one, that it is clear that Odion Ighalo will be leaving in January, and the arrival of Edison Cavani, I think that is what caused the problem. And again, remember that when he was brought on, the reason why they bought Odion Ighalo was because of the injury that they were having. Now Marcus Rashford is back, he's playing very well. Mason Greenwood, they will always want to, he's a young English boy, so they will always want to put him there. Martial will be the one that you say, okay, he shouldn't be playing ahead of Odion Ighalo. But I think the manager also looks like, okay, this guy is young, you know, let's see what we can do. So I think that's really just the problem with Ighalo, the arrival of Edison Cavani and the return to fitness of Marcus Rashford.
All right, for Liverpool fans, this is more like news signing to you. We hear that Alexander-Arnold is back in training. He might just be the one to play right back for you when you play against Wolverhampton Wanderers this weekend. Diego Jota will be playing his facing his former side this. So that's if he gets a start, maybe when he comes in to play for them. Okay, moving away from the EPL, and let's go to Spain, where we saw Barcelona over the weekend in La Liga. I'm talking about the Champions League. They got angry, they were versed, and they went on to win, I think 4-0 that particular game, and Lionel Messi scored the last goal rather, and he celebrated, paying tribute to the legend Diego Armando Maradona. Took off his Barcelona shirt and the new old boys jersey number 10 with his hands raised up high, paying his tribute to Diego Maradona. Officially now, La Liga has fined Lionel Messi and Barcelona for that celebration.
I think it is ridiculous, honestly. I know the money is nothing. How much is it? $720. That's what they find Lionel Messi. That's less than nothing to Lionel Messi.
It's a big boy.
Not a problem. And then they also find Barcelona. They find them 180 euros. I mean, it's really nothing to the club. But sometimes these things are symbolic. It's not really because of the money. But why would you fine Lionel Messi, and why will you also fine Barcelona? Look, I understand before people start saying, oh, but you know the rules. Now, I know the rules perfectly. I understand that in football matches you are not supposed to display any message that is of a religious, that is of a personal, or that's of a political nature. What Lionel Messi displayed was of a personal nature because he was paying tribute to Diego Armando Maradona. But come on. It's Maradona that we are talking about. And remember that even the La Liga itself, before the match, they paid tribute to Diego Maradona. The whole world at that point was paying tribute to Diego Maradona. So why are you punishing somebody for doing what the whole world is doing, including you yourself, the officiating body at that point? I don't get it. You say you are doing Black Lives Matter, and everybody take a knee before the game kicks off, and some of them clench their fist. Now somebody scores a goal and displays a T-shirt that is talking about Black Lives Matter, and you come and you issue the person a yellow card. I don't understand, because you are already saying, okay, let us do this to draw attention to some of this. Ademola Lookman, when he scored for Fulham, he displayed the number 19 jersey that Papa Bouba Diop, he also played for Fulham. He displayed his jersey to pay tribute to him. So the players should not be cautioned. I really do not. I will not agree with those saying that it is right because it is the rule. Yeah. You have to follow it. Look, yesterday's game, Chelsea and Sevilla, right? After Chelsea had scored their fourth goal. Well, I've said here several times, there is no rule anywhere that says if a team commits an offense that is deserving of a penalty 5 times or 10 times or 100 times, there is no rule in any book of football that says that you have to limit the number of penalties that you give in a match. It's not there. It's not there. In I think 2001, when we were going for the 2002 World Cup, our qualifiers, we beat Sudan 4-0 away, right? But Kanu Nwankwo was hacked, as in, when you hack somebody, he was hacked in the 18-yard box. It should have been a penalty. It was a clear penalty. The referee did not give it because at that point Nigeria was 4-0 up. After the match, he came to the dressing room, to the Nigerian dressing room, to apologize. He told, I'm sorry, it was a penalty, but when I don't beat these people, that's why I did not give it. And with Nigeria, you don't make any case out of it. After all, we've already won. Yesterday, there was a handball. And we know what the rule says. The handball in the 18-yard box is supposed to be a penalty. But I don't think anybody associated with Chelsea will say, why was that penalty not given? You were 4-0 up. You were 4-0 up, and it wasn't like, see the penalty that was awarded for Giroud. Come on. He was hacked down, so they gave the penalty. But this one was handball, and the way
it's
the
penalty anytime, any day.
It's a penalty, but the referee used his discretion, even though you know what happened. The VAR was remote yesterday. It wasn't like the one that the referee usually goes. The VAR was somewhere, and it was the VAR official who communicated to the referee. Normally, he's supposed to take the decision on his own and tell the referee the penalty, but he told the referee, go and check it. So the referee, when it happened, the referee didn't give it. The referee went, checked it, and so we could see clearly that the ball touched the hand, but he didn't. No Chelsea players did not even really seriously demand for the penalty, and they just play on, and everybody understood. So that's the same way I thought La Liga or any other
should have
bodies
acted.
Yes, we know when you do something like that, you're supposed to be given a penalty. You're supposed to be shown a yellow card. But this is Lionel Messi. It's not just any other person. It's Lionel Messi of Argentina. Lionel Messi is the spiritual successor to Diego Maradona. You know what Lionel Messi, what Diego Maradona meant to Lionel Messi. And you saw how he pointed to the sky, how he stayed for a couple of seconds. And after the game, he just posted on his social media platform and said, adios, Diego. So to now issue him a yellow card, I was against that. And now even La Liga is saying they are not going to rescind the yellow card because he's appealing that the yellow card should be rescinded. They said they are not going to appeal. They are not going to rescind their yellow card, and they are insisting on fining him. Well, both Lionel Messi and Barcelona can still appeal. It's no big deal. It's not something that they could just forget and move on. But I don't understand why they would be fined. I know it's nothing to them. The money is nothing. But I really don't understand why. Except if we are not genuine, if we are not sincere in celebrating the life of Maradona and paying homage to Maradona. Why did La Liga itself pay homage to Maradona? You are saying somebody should not display a shirt that pays homage to Maradona.
Okay, that's what's going on in La Liga right now. Aziz is back. Aramo Aziz of Granada is back in training. Thank God for that. He has been injured. Okay, let's go to Formula One. And Renault have confirmed that Fernando Alonso, two-time Formula One champion, will officially return. I'll be given the green light to make his official F1 return in the post-season. That is after the season, Abu Dhabi Young Driver Test. Now, later this month. This is done for drivers that made just 1 or 2 starts, young drivers that are coming up from Formula E and all those stuff that they've promoted, like the young Marcus Schumacher now. Has signed for Hans. So these drivers, they do these competitions to put them get themselves up to speed with the rules, regulation, and the way it is in Formula One before the season properly will start. I think next year March, they take a longer break, get themselves ready, and then the tests are done before the season will start. I think in March the season properly start in Australia. So they've been talking about that. I mean, Alonso is a veteran, like I said, 2-time champion. He shouldn't be part of this, but again, his company constructor decided to go to the FIA to explain to them that he has been out of Formula One for a very long time, so they need him to get up to speed with what they want to do next year.
It's like Mike Tyson when he was told by the interviewer that you are a giant, so that's why we are asking whether this other man is okay, because they were asking him that they were scared for his health, and they said, look, this guy is 51, he just left boxing 3 years ago. I am 54, I have not boxed in 16 years, yet all of you are asking about him. Why about me? Why does anybody care? And he says, it's because you are a giant and all that. Tyson said, look, forget being a giant. I'm not a giant now. I'm a beginner. So it's the same thing with Alonso. What his constructor is saying, that this guy has been out of the business for a long time, so he still needs to come through that structure to see how he can really get up to speed. But I think, this guy Alonso was 2-time world champion. So it's not like he's a novice in the business. He will be fine.
All right, this one's from our own grassroots here. Stephen Keshi Football and Vocational Training Center, Oba Zua, Benin City. Now, this is an invitation to the final of the 3rd edition of Stephen Keshi National Under-17 Boys Football Competition in Edo State. We are collaborating with all football stakeholders nationwide. Join us as we celebrate the late Nigerian football icon. Chief guest of honor, Right Honorable Comrade Philip Shaibu, Deputy Governor Edo State. A special guest of honor, Mr. Amaju Marvin Pinnick, President, Nigeria Football Federation. A guest of honor, Professor Dalinti Obaseki, Chief Medical Director, University Teaching Hospital down here in Benin City. Chief Austin Owen Egwavon, Technical Director, Nigerian Football Federation. Now, the date is Saturday, 5th December 2020. Venue right there at UBTH Football Field, Ugbowa, Benin City. The time is 3 p.m. prompt. Now, COVID-19 protocol, this is very important, will be highly observed. Thanks for your anticipated participation. Okay, we were talking about this competition. We just gave out results and fixtures. Hopefully when we come back on air, we'll get all the games that were played today and those that will play tomorrow and all that. The final is slated for 3 p.m. Saturday. They are inviting everyone, but social distancing will be maintained. All that's the protocol they're talking about: face mask, sanitizer, and all that. If you don't have it, you cannot get into the venue to watch the final of the 3rd edition of late coach Stephen Keshi's on National Under-17 football. That's for boys competition going on down here in Edo State. Trust me, I saw a team earlier today from Play 2 states, playing. I've seen teams from especially the northern part and of course the west and east coming down to Edo State to participate in this tournament. It's growing. Hopefully we can take it to the international level, because seriously, it's an icon, and this is the only way we can really honor him and share his memories for younger ones. Like Borio said about Diego Maradona, that he has told his son about Maradona. Thank God he got to know some certain things about him before he died last week, that he's going to tell his son to also pass the same message to his own son when he also get married and put to birth. So the same thing we are also trying to do. Stephen Keshi is an icon, a living legend, we'll say. Because, I understand. I know he's gone, but to me, what he did, it's not just about football. Of course, being a big brother to Africa, you go to these days,
I have I've said this several times. I've been in the presence of Stephen Keshi, and you know, all the while growing up, hearing about him, watching him, and everybody was just big boss, reading about him. I didn't really know, but I just okay, this guy is really influential. But I watched him in 1993. There was the game against Algeria. He didn't play. He was injured. But even then, you could see the influence. As they were coming out of the tunnel, it was Stephen Keshi that led, and he held a ball up. And the moment the fans saw him at the national side, everybody just went mad, and then the other players came out. The second match, he was on the bench and came on as a substitute. And even though we were winning at that point, it was 3-1 when Stephen Keshi came in. And you could tell that we were still jittery. We got the first goal. In fact, we went 2-0 up before Cote d'Ivoire got a goal. And then we were now 3-1 up. And then Stephen Keshi came in. And when he came in, he was nursing an injury that time. He was nursing an injury in that game. But even with that, even a half-fit Stephen Keshi, the moment he came in, that defense that was jittery before, everything just calmed down.
The boss is on the pitch.
Somebody was saying that you just see us in the command. You see commander. Honestly, the moment he just came in, he just started pointing. You hear, and that you see the kind of stability that Thiago Silva has brought to Chelsea. You know how
Thiago Silva,
how jittery that defense was. That's the kind of thing that Stephen Keshi does. And after all the years and everything, I finally got to meet Stephen Keshi in that's one-on-one now. Because I've watched him play and watch him be on the sidelines. But I was blessed to be in his presence in 2011. From 2011 upwards, at least until when he was even coach of the Super Eagles, I went to interview him. It comes natural. There's an aura around him. It is just some people are natural born leaders. Stephen Keshi is one of such people. Once he doesn't even need to say anything. The moment you see him, you just, I don't know, even amongst his
peers,
even the Super Eagles, the big stars of the Super Eagles, everybody they knew who the leader was. There was no question about who was the leader of all these other big boys. Once Stephen Keshi is there, you just know naturally that he's the leader. So whatever we can do to immortalize him, he died too early. It's really, really sad. But things like this, there's nothing that you can do. We are mortals, and one day everybody will go. But I will forever miss Stephen Keshi.
All right, time for you to be part of the show.
Sorry, quick one before we started. We didn't talk about this in the morning. You know, our fans love wrestling. This man was a legend. I don't know how many of them will remember him. I don't know when they started watching wrestling.
No, not this generation of noodles.
No, of course he didn't. He wasn't in the ring in 1930. So, but he retired. He retired in 1984. We're talking about Pat Patterson. He was the first ever intercontinental champion in the WWF, which later became the WWE. He has died at the age of 79. He is the man that is credited with creating the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble, of course, is one of the most interesting gimmick matches in the WWE. It's different from the Battle Royale, although it's still the same idea. You throw your opponent over the top rope, but the way they come into the ring, I believe it makes it even more interesting than the Royal Rumble. He was an old man, and he died at the age of 79 yesterday. Vince McMahon, for many years, this guy, Pat Patterson, was his right-hand man, who was always with him. He became, after he retired, became a color commentator and did so many other things, and he was in charge of WWE Creative. So some of the matches, some of the most iconic matches that we have seen in the WWE, they were put together by Pat Patterson. And again, he was the first openly gay superstar in the WWE. This guy was also part of those who trained The Rock, trained The Rock Johnson. Yes, Pat Patterson trained him because he was close friends with The Rock's father, Rocky Johnson. And then when he said he wanted to go into wrestling, Pat Patterson said, "Look, I will train you, but I'm not going to just say, okay, you are my boy, you are my best friend's son. I'm going to train you real hard." And he said, "No problem." And he did the same thing. Then The Rock's father too told him, I wouldn't say you are my son. I will train you like I'm training any other person. And maybe that's why The Rock became as good as he was. So may the soul of Pat Patterson rest in peace.
Amen. Okay. 0706-263-9275 0903-939-4427 plus 0812-178-9154. Let the call start coming. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Oh, Danjuma, all the way from Auchi.
That's correct. Good evening.
Good evening, Danjuma.
God bless you now for the analysis. First, let me congratulate my guy, Cristiano Ronaldo, scoring another today.
Yes.
I want to make the coach there so that even they call the time and nobody catch up with them. Congratulations to Oliver Giroud. I think Frank Lampard does the thing with the top after that. Even though you know how they use them for first half, at least 60-70 minutes, they introduce them so that 1 or 2 days will come for this. Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Danjuma. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. Good evening.
I'm Faru from Pastor Convaro.
All right, if I talk to us quickly.
I say congratulations to Chelsea, of Chelsea and of Super Eagles. Congratulations to Giroud. Make this one Lampard. If you learn for this one now, I feel they not be down for market. I mean, according to where my guy talk just now, even though they don't want to use them for full time, at least for many or second half, we will bring and come. I mean, Chelsea will be win, and we will make the younger one stay serious. And they're not going to play the way they want to play. They will play the way the coach or the way the team wants them to play to beat the team to victory. So, now do well there, now thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, good evening, Mr. Francis.
Yes, good evening to you too.
Good evening, Oga Ibrahim. My name is Fred. I'm calling from Ikobai.
All right, Fred from Ikobai. Talk to us.
Okay. I'm a Man U fan, and I just want to say that, first of all, you mentioned something about Igalo not starting yesterday. Of course, it didn't start, but he came on. So just to correct you, it was actually part of the match yesterday. And I
he's a forgotten man. I didn't say he didn't play. Yes, I said these days, most times you don't get to have him on the bench. When you have him on the bench, he doesn't get to play. But I didn't talk about last night's game. I know you came. I watched the game.
Okay, yeah, it is. On the second order, it's no one sport really, if you ask me. But you know this is happening in football. Anyways, I hear a lot of Man U fans complain that the coach is the problem. Personally, you ask me. The coach is not the problem. I mean,
last night was the coach. Was he the one that told Martial to miss those 2 clear chances?
God bless you, sir. That's my question. That's why I keep asking.
Wasted effort.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why I keep saying. Everybody just go for the obvious skill.
But the coach who selects the player. So if a player is missing the chances, why doesn't he change it?
Tactically, I think he was the spot on yesterday as well. I think it's 50-50. The blame from last night's game is 50-50. When Fred got that yellow card, he would have taken him off.
He should have taken him off.
Yes.
He is the coach. He actually took a risk. I mean, when we look at our options, we don't have broken Matic. Matic would have suffered at the hands of Neymar yesterday. They are common. So personally, I felt he took a risk so that he didn't pay. So the gamble and he didn't pay. But I don't like hearing that the coach is the problem. I've not personally, I'm not just the ball as much as I am right now.
They are all the problems. The technical and the players. They are the problem right now. They should step.
Martial is just painful that we don't have any option. Martial is the most inconsistent striker that we have. It's just the sinister. But I just hope that we get it on the final.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
All right, please tell us your name, where you're calling us from, quickly. All right, talk to us.
Marshall from this season, you know the Marshall way they go. You know who's supposed to stop Marshall ahead of them. Because your photos are fake, all those black people.
That's your question, brother. Calm down, Amumu will have conversation. If you put Martial on the bench, right now he's in form. I think even Rashford right now is seriously not in his element right now. That's just the honest truth. If you put those two guys on the bench because right now they are not in form, who will you play? Ojengalo, we've seen him play this season. Hold on, brother. We've seen him play this season. Even before, when the games restarted, he played in the Europa League. He wasn't the Ojengalo that just came to Manchester United and hit the ground run. Even this season that he has been on, yesterday when he came on, it was really not, effective. It was just a substitution made. Maybe he would be the one. But again, there's nobody right now. Danny James, when he came, was really seriously hot for Manchester United. But right now, the games he has played for United this season hasn't really been good. So they need to bring in some players.
I'll go with my party.
Yeah.
Where Marshall will come. They see the user. The user, you know the play anything for mind. The user, why they never do that thing? So they may still try your best. Why they not do that?
They don't say that they play from this week now. They say they play Cavani yesterday as a pointsman, and they can't play Martial as a wide man.
Don't say they made up mistake they get you look at. Why not to change their commander? Anyway, give the team qualified Europa. Don't give them some they do Europa League.
All right now, thank you. I'll take a pause from the calls now. We'll come back to take more calls, but let's quickly pay this bill. We'll be right back.
I mean, and that to they pay money, help people for them hustle and other bank matter them. My name now, 9PSB.
Everybody listen up. Let me tell you something. Better service don't land. Don't just sit down there look.
This now to introduce 9 Payment Service Bank, correct bank for you and me. Dial *990# or download the 9PSB app for iOS and Google Play Store. Make you start to the bank. Our bank agent then tanda for your area. With any phone, you fit open account to Kia to pay any kind bill and start to send and receive money instant. 9PSB. Now our bank be that.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us. Let's go back to the phone lines now. Hello. Oh, sorry, didn't get to you early enough. Hello. Jose, how you doing?
I'm great. I greet you guys from JRS. First of all, you make me laugh when you made an argument for Manchester United against Ojengalo. What do you expect when you bench a player who was very hot, blazing? I mean, when he came from China, scoring in almost every game. He just bench him for no reason. There's no call match rustiness. You can't just call him after 2 months and to come and perform magic. They've succeeded in, quenching that fire, and now they want to call him in the days of trouble. So Manchester United, they know the game this guy. For me, it's my own stand. So you cannot expect him to do magic. You cannot play in games every week. You have that much rustiness, even if you are Maradona. So it's like that. So for me, he should leave. He should terminate the contract and leave, because bringing Cavani was a slap on his face. Whether it's a childhood dream or not, it doesn't matter. So for me, if I was in his shoes, I know he doesn't need money anymore, but his name is at stake. You can't bring Cavani when you have a John on bench. For God's sake, they are both strikers. They are both aged. They are both playing the same style. Anyways, I should not be too emotional. Congratulations to the TV cash tournament going on. It's a very great way, to keep it playing. Players are coming from all over the country. I'm very, very happy. It's a good one. Kudos to those who are doing this. Also, I want to talk about La Liga. Signing Messi and Barcelona is very wrong. I tell you that him to say it's very wrong. Maybe they'll come back to their senses and take back the sign. Sometimes it do come up like this. Congratulations to Giroud and to Chelsea, but not to Lampard. Lampard is not experienced enough. I still see him leaving Chelsea at some point. You cannot cajole me with 3 wins or 4 wins. He's still the same Lampard. At some point, he will start benching Giroud again for 3-4 games and call him when he's in trouble, just like that. I to do to Ojengalo. It's a game. They are doing it. It's a British game. When it's hot, they look for the guys they can use as scapegoats. and if you cannot deliver, they say, you see, we are pleading. It's not good enough. That is what they did for him. So, thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening.
Hello? Hello? Okay, brazen down to take your calls, but the network playing fast one up. But we have this one. Hello?
Hello, good evening. This is Mr. Ken from Airport.
You have to be brief now.
I just want to talk about my team's match yesterday. I think we really need to go for another coach, because everybody in that game, where I was watching it, we knew that Fred was going to get the second yellow. At least I was expecting the coach to change him. Mourinho will not even risk something like that, so I was really disappointed with the coach yesterday. Thank you.
Alright, you're welcome. Thank you for calling. Okay, this last one will take a look at the messages. Hello.
Hey, Francis, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening, I'm fine, and you?
Ibra, I greet you. Good evening.
Great to you. Well done.
This is IK from Ekawaro.
You have 5 seconds.
I won't spend that to that. In fact, I'm shocked at your Francis argument about Ojo.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying my own.
Ibrahim too has maintained consistently here on this program that Ojo was not brought to Maju as number one striker. Ibrahim has maintained that. So whatever is happening to him now is the fault of the coach. Somebody, as Mourinho said, somebody was hot on fire. You were keeping it on bed. You went and brought another striker. This is the consequence. That is one thing about these European coaches. Over Sapi. That is how I will end the over Sapi.
All right, thank
you.
Have a nice time. Let's take a look at the messages.
Hi, good evening. Happy birthday to the Deputy Governor. May God continue to strengthen him. From Minister Musa. All right. And good evening, men. How are you guys doing? Please, Oga Brad, update me on Thomas Partey injury granted Shaka from okay.
I think they said 2 to 3 weeks is still gonna be out.
Okay. Let's see. Well, this one says, please get Ole out now. 3 years ago we were competing for the league and winning trophies. Now we are a mid-table club. Ole will drown this club soon, but I wait for United. Morning, guys. Ogaibra, Ole is a killer of that match. You should have removed Fred because of the yellow card. Ole is not technical enough. This is from Greatness. Happy hearing Francis West. Welcome back. Keep up the good work. Up KUFM. I'm Godwin Ibo. Hi.
Godwin, it's been a while. Thank you.
Good day, Oga Ibrahim. Don't you think Lionel Messi was supposed to be suspended for removing his shirt against Osasuna on their Sunday match from Juventus Prophet? Why would suspended? Why?
I was saying that
it's just a yellow card. The normal offense is a yellow card. The punishment is a yellow card. And that's what he got. That they are now they said he has been fined. I really do not think so. I thought that the referee could have ignored that, and even if he had given him a yellow card, La Liga should just have ignored it. Good day, great men of sports. Chelsea. People should watch out for them this season. Thanks. David from Ekanwa Road. Haaland being out till January is such a big blow for Dortmund. Matt from Sapele Road.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, because that guy.
Go machines.
Yeah, honestly. Good day, sports crew. Since PK got injured, Barca have not conceded any goal. This shows PK is one of Barca's problem. One love to all Barca fans. Son of man.
He's from where?
Human beings.
Yeah, look. Wait, that is true. But
human beings. Really? PK is okay.
But, that guy does 7 now.
No, Shebi, which clubs have they played since PK left? Wait, when Jungle matures, you ask for PK. Okay, those are the messages.
Let's see if we can take more calls before we go. Have 2-3 minutes left on the show this evening. Hello. Yes, good evening. You have to be brief. Tell us your name, where you're from.
Yes, almost from Jaro.
Almost, talk to us. Oh, yeah, sharp.
Okay. Well, it's 1999 I've been a supporter of Mayu. And it's so sad what I'm seeing now. From yesterday, I've elected to be a supporter of good football and good tacticians anywhere in the world.
That's the only way you can go to bed and sleep well, my brother. Join my groove.
Yes, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. All right, our last call for the day. Hello.
Hello, Baba. Good evening.
Asta.
Well, I agree to now.
Now we hear you.
I'm on this now. It's not that time. Good evening, sir. Well done, sir. That's the one word I get to talk. Me, I said I lose on Sunday, need a packer. I said I come to play. I said I not.
But he will have a community shit for Nana.
Now the good community they had the talk after the way by law. That not be that. I think I love their plan. When don't be we love to play 90 minutes for after game. Why we love to play 90 minutes? William for back of Aubameyang. You don't change the commission. Play William for back of Aubameyang. Play Messi, Renati for right. That's the game like that. That's the way we have the creativity. Because creativity not the after team. How the team want to go on? You don't go peace. So many coach may just lose their goal because I'm not saying all the talk of start. They lose their goal. Now we can just believe on that because now Sunday are not free. To God, everybody call the team, they call the home, they start all the crease. They start to get mental problems because that game really is my bone. Truth. I don't go lie you to God.
Calm down, brother.
No, dude, that game say no, that game say how can you play 3 games at home and lose the 3 games? It's on that. No. Forget me and Manchester United not be one rope with you. Only going to say better pass at that to God do. Better pass at that to God.
Alright, thank you.
So now we have to go now. I agree to my boss. I agree to
from you. Alright, thank you so much. This is where we have the dirty curtains on the show this evening. But don't worry, we're back tomorrow at 8 a.m. In the morning and for another round of good sports stories. Till then, have yourself a blessed night rest and bye-bye.
92.7 KUFM.
So we talk about what's more practical and comfortable in the business of elevator, escalator, building automation. Then let's talk about Enabritech Limited for your home and office, companies and industries. When you think of professionals in providing and installing elevator, escalator, building automation, automatic doors and gates, and lots more, think Enabritech Limited.